Hello, hello everyone. Welcome to Ed Talk TV. I hope you are having a great day, good afternoon, morning, evening, wherever you're tuning in to us from. If you're new around here, let me explain how the show works. This is a business talk show. We talk about business, tech, and the user experience. We go live on Tuesdays at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you are on Facebook, you can follow, and see first our page, but you can also just put a reminder in your calendar because we know how Facebook is and those notifications, they get all kinds of craziness there. If you're tuning in to us live, be sure to pop into the comments, say hello. And if you're a replay viewer, I talk to you just like I talk to our live audience. Be sure to comment even on the replay so then that way I can connect with you and other people who are browsing through the comments can see who you are and kind of connect as well. So today we're going to talk about the power of video and how that can help you attract the right clients. But before we get into that topic, because that's our main topic, we are going to share some random news. It's just a fun way to break things up and to also get you aware of some of the crazy things that are out there. There's a lot of different things. So because I've structured this as a talk show, we like to do a couple random things in random news and then pop into our main content today. So welcome Val tuning in from London, UK. We're so excited to have you. And I know it's super late over there. Thank you for tuning in. Hopefully this won't get you too excited because I want you to sleep tonight. So be sure to share this out, tag your friends, all of that good stuff. Let's pop into random news and then we will bring on our guest afterwards who will join our conversation around video and how we can get more clients and attract them through video. So let me go ahead and share my screen with you guys so you guys can see what's going on. Facebook scam. Yeah, it's back again. How many of you, even if you're watching the replay, have heard about this? It's been around for a while now, but it's coming back in the news. It's called The Secret Sisters. It's a scam on Facebook. Basically, don't participate in it. That's what we'll say in a nutshell. It's kind of a pyramid scheme, it looks like, from what the news is reporting. I saw it last year, and it's popping up again this year. The big problem with it is that it has things that the U.S. Post Office doesn't. They clearly state that you can't participate doing certain things with pyramid schemes, and the scam also goes against Facebook's terms of conditions, and also it puts your personal information out there. So basically, in a nutshell, don't fall for the Secret Sister scam here on Facebook. When in doubt, if anybody's asking for your personal information, don't just give it up. Also, that applies to those fun quizzes. Keep in mind that those quizzes may be fun, but you also have to realize that those are big treats or lures, if you will, for scammers and getting your information. So be sure to limit, if not cut off, your participation in a lot of those games and fun chain letter type things. Also, how cool is this? I'm going to make sure it's muted, but check this out. How many of you, even if you're watching the replay, would love to have your whole tent camping situation on top of your car and take it wherever you go, and basically with a few clicks and a few twists, it all inflates and it's good to go? How cool is this? I think that, for those who are really outdoorsy, this would be an awesome thing to have. It's just on top of your car. You roll it out and it's good to go. It's weatherproof and everything, and you have a little shelter on the side of your car. Super cool. So anyway, that's in random news, and of course there's those ads. If you haven't seen them before, Facebook breaks up your videos and puts in its own ads there. So we're going to go ahead and close that. And last but not least, this is an interesting one. It's cool. It's a little sad, but it's nice that we have this feature. But through some shortcuts on your iPhone, and I'm sure Android users, there's apps for this too, but you can actually use Siri to help you if you're getting pulled over, where through this app, it's called Shortcuts. I'll show it to you right here. Through this app, you can set up basically a recipe to be activated by Siri to open up your phone and start recording with your camera the minute you get pulled over by the police. So that way you can basically hands-free start recording your situation at hand. So something interesting, something worthwhile, even if that's not your main feature in terms of you don't really need that, you might still want to check out Shortcuts because there is a ton of different recipes, if you will, that you can create to do different tasks on your iPhone. So it's really neat. You can see here, this one says walk to coffee. So when it's activated, it picks up the local businesses that match coffee, and then it already opens up maps and gets you on your way. So it's just an app that allows you to create shortcuts to what you want to be doing. So take a look at that. That's in the App Store. And again, if you're an Android user, you could see if this is available in your store. And if it's not, there may be something that's similar. Usually in both stores, you can find different things. But Shortcuts is a fun app. I've tried it out once. I forget what my recipe is, but I've tried that out once. And it's just something different, you know? There's so many things that we can do with our devices. You know, that's the thing that's overwhelming for a lot of us, especially those who are not tech savvy, right? How many of you, even if you're watching the replay, tell me in the comments. But when it comes to technology, we get so overwhelmed so quickly because it's one of those things that it can do so much, but we're trying to figure out that one thing that it can do for us. And you know, when I used to work at Apple, I always told people, because I'd have a lot of older customers, more mature customers, come in and be forced to get an iPhone because the kids said that it's better and all of that. But they wouldn't listen to them because, you know, of course it's the kids and they're trying to get them on the new technology and all that. But when I worked with them, I explained to them that just because you can't use your flip phone doesn't mean you can't use your iPhone. In fact, you probably can use your iPhone way more than you can use your flip phone, because I can't even use a flip phone these days, you know? And so when you can find what is it that you specifically need to figure out and work just on that problem. Now I'm speaking about technology, but it applies to business, right? It's one of those things that when we can find the one thing that we need, then we can really zone in on that and figure that out. And then once we do that and we do it well, then we can start branching out. And I can tell you that if I can teach my dad, who is paralyzed from a stroke, speech impaired, was never into computers when he was healthy, I had to show him how to push the big old button on the tower computers. How many of you guys remember that? With the old AOL dial-up? I had to teach him how to push the power button, let alone get online. If he can use an iPad to communicate with me, I can tell you anybody can use an iPhone or an iPad to get what they need done in terms of communication or more. It's just finding that one entry point, that one little thing that gets you there. The other thing I'll speak to as it ties into that is this thing about us as business owners. You know, whether you're an aspiring entrepreneur or you're already in business, we have to ask ourselves, and I'll be talking about more about this as we finish out the rest of this year, but I want to kind of plant the seed. We have to remember that expenses are always going to be an issue for us. We're always going to be on a tight budget. We don't want to really spend money. We don't have money to spend. That's valid, and we have those concerns, which we should. As a business owner, you always have to be paying attention to your expenses. However, it's important for us to always keep checking the money that's going out and the money that's coming in. I think a lot of us are in agreement that we do the money that's coming in, but we may not be paying 100% attention to the money that's going out because we're in the moment. Oh, we need to do this. No problem. Here's a check. Oh, here's my card. Oh, here's that. Oh, that looks like a good subscription. Oh, that looks like a good program. Let's get it. It's only $29. It's only $50. It's only $100. But then we get in trouble at the end because we realize all those things add up. And then we feel paralyzed that we can't move forward and we don't really know what to do. And we've spent all this money, so we can't really hire the right person or the right tech to be able to take us to the next step. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? How many of you feel that way or know a friend of a friend who feels that way, huh? So what I'm trying to get at is that I want you, and we'll do a whole segment on this, but I want you to start thinking about your expenses. What are you spending your money on? And what is bringing money in? And really start to focus in on what you need in order to get to the next step. And I bring this up because I saw a post the other day about somebody had posted about, asking just a general question about a business coaching / mastermind group. And the people that were responding, it broke my heart because there was no price involved in terms of that post. And so everyone responding to it was saying, yes, that would be nice, but I can't afford it right now. I'm hoping I can do it next year. I doubt that I can participate because of a budget. I don't have a budget. And like I said, I know that we all do that. We all have to stick to our small to none budget. But we also have to realize that if you're going to be in business, if you want to start a business or run your business and you want it to grow and actually make you money, you have to invest in the right people, the right tools, and the right resources, which is why it's so important for you to do your research and not let decisions that you've made in the past hold you back. So if you spent a lot of money on a program or a person and it didn't work out the way you had hoped, don't let that paralyze you for the next thing. There's things that you have to evaluate. And some of you are just popping on, so you didn't see it at the beginning. You'll see it at the end. Most of you have probably heard this before, but I have the Hey Ed Network, which is now an app that you'll see a promo video at the end of this live if you stay tuned. And the reason I'm so passionate about the Hey Ed Network and growing it and helping you and making it clear that it's a justifiable expense for you is that it's a one-time fee per month, right? That allows you to ask your questions around business and tech to get the support you need all month long. Not one appointment, not 1 hour, but all month long. And while I can't, cure everything, I can help you get to what you need. I can help you get what you need done and get you pointed in the right direction, which is going to save you time and also save you money because you're not going to be wasting your time or wasting money on products and services that you don't really need right this minute. So just think about that. And whether or not you think the Hey Ed Network is for you, that's a different story. I hope you see the value in it, but I'm just saying that in general, for whatever you're going for, make sure you do your research and you understand that it's not just the dollar amount, because that's always going to be a concern for us. It has to be, what are you going to be able to take away from that? How is that going to take you to the next level? Because like I said, for that post that I saw from somebody, it broke my heart that people are actually going to wait a year from now before they think that they can afford something. Let me tell you, in a year, you're going to be in the same spot. You're going to say the same thing. And then where's your business? Where's your product? You're holding you back your greatness. People are waiting for you. Your audience is waiting for you. So don't let that be you, okay? All right. So I know, I get passionate about this stuff. What can I say? I am going to go ahead and give our guest a call, and we're going to bring on Tracy so that we can talk about the power of video and really how you can utilize that to attract your audience. So feel free to pop into the comments and say hello. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, get that queued up, and give our guest a call. Here we go. It's been a while. By the way, you guys can become guests if you like. You can just head over to my website, edtroxel.com. Link is in the comments, and we'll go from there. So, hello. How are you? Tracy, can you hear us? And I'm going to go ahead. Perfect. Hey, and go ahead and mute your computer if you're tuning in to us, Tracy, from there.
I'm fine, and you?
I'm good, thanks.
I'm trying to mute my computer.
Yeah, no worries. And when you're ready, go ahead and let people know who you are and kind of, what you do, so that way they know.
Okay. Hi, guys. My name is, so that I'm not distracted.
Yeah.
Hi, guys. My name is Tracy Allen. I am a nonprofit strategist, the owner of TVA Consulting. I'm also a certified SCORE mentor, and I help nonprofit organizations build and grow profitable, sustainable, and compliant infrastructures so that they don't go to jail.
And how many of us can say we love that?
Exactly.
That right there is a selling point. It's like, boom, done. We're good.
Yep.
Yes. And what I love about it too is that you're bringing the nonprofit part there, which is huge. And, we've talked about this before too, is that a nonprofit is a business. It still needs to run like a business because it is a business. And we have to all understand that when we put in those systems and structure, it helps us just have a solid foundation that can take us to the next level. Am I right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all about the foundation. Even when I taught English, I remember I used to tell my students, if you don't have a solid foundation, especially in English, English is a subject that if you miss something along the way, it doesn't make sense by the time you get to junior high and high school. You have to relearn the whole system again. So yes, a foundation is very important. If you build a house on a shaky foundation, your house is just going to collapse. So you need to make sure that you take the time. The foundation building is always the most arduous part of putting a business together. It's not rewarding in any way. It's just tiresome and you just want to go, oh my God. I can't, you know what I mean? But all those sleepless nights and all the ranting and raving actually pays off in the end if you take the time to build it properly the first time around.
It's so true. And that's the thing. And now with the power of social media and video and being able to get our message, we were talking about not having, having low budgets / no budgets. And I'm sure you run into that with the nonprofit world a lot too, is
do I ever?
An issue. It's always an issue, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Every time I talk to somebody, the first thing they say, but I don't have any money. So then why are we on the phone? Like really and truly, you have to have money for something. If you want to grow, you have to invest in yourself financially. Did we get on the phone because you thought I was going to give you all the goodies for free? Like, I don't understand that concept. When you come to a professional, when you go to let me use for women this analogy. When I go to the hairdresser, right, I'm not going to the hairdresser and sit in her chair and expect her to do my hair for free and get up and say, well, you know something? This hairstyle is the bomb.com. But guess what? I don't have any money to pay you today. What?
Yep.
She'd be calling the police 911. But that's I think that's the best analogy to make. Yeah. The hairdresser, the nail salon, when you go there, you are going for a service and you know that you have to pay for that service. Yes, sometimes what we do isn't tangible. Right. It's more knowledge based, but it's still a service and a service that you need to pay for because the knowledge I impart upon you is what you're going to take to build and make money.
Yes. And I love that you break it down so simple like that with the example, because everyone can relate to that. I mean, I get my haircut, and it's one of those things that, going into it that you got to pay.
Exactly.
That's the thing. You pay for that. And so I feel like when we get online, we forget about that connection and we realize that, and maybe it's because online has so much free content at our fingertips.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's what's clouding our judgment, but it's one of those things that we have to remember. No, this is just, like you said, walking into a hair salon and knowing that you're going to pay for that service and you're going to walk out with that feeling, that actual product or service or whatever it is.
Exactly. And I definitely agree with you when you say, I think it's something about the online atmosphere where people feel that they don't have to pay for anything. Because I don't know if your experience is like mine. If I meet someone in person, face to face, we're sitting down having coffee, because, they say business deals are made over golfing. Yep. It's actually made over coffee.
Yep.
Right? So if we're sitting down and we're eye to eye, I'm almost 90% sure that I'm going to leave there with a signed deal.
Yeah.
Okay. When I meet people online and I get on the phone and I give them this free 15-minute consultation, they think that they can call me back again to ask more questions and more questions. And they expect that the consultation is me giving them information when it's really for us to figure out if we can work together.
Yes.
So I think the whole online atmosphere is just a little skewed
Yeah.
versus that face to face. I don't know what's going on in people's minds, what, like you said, on the internet, where they feel that you're going to be giving them everything at no cost. But when you get in person, people understand we're here for business.
Yes.
And business is what we're doing.
Yes. And that's why I think with video, specifically live video, it's so important and so popular because we can have this interaction, and it does allow us to do one of two things. We can still do the free route to attract people and then get them to our service, product, lead magnet, whatever.
Right.
And or it allows us to do paid things. Like we could do a webinar or a specific, live broadcast to a specific audience that pays an entry fee, same thing as like a webinar. But it's one of those things where that the video allows us to be more realistic and more in tune with each other versus just being online.
Right. Exactly. I agree.
And
But go ahead.
oh, I was just going to say, and so when it comes to video, I mean, I love doing obviously this show and live broadcasting. I mean, I was doing it for 5 days a week for a long time.
Yeah, I remember. I was when you started it, I was one of your first guests.
Yeah.
So I remember.
And it's so much fun. I would still do it 5 days a week if I knew, like, there's still days where I'm like, oh, I should just do this. And I still randomly go live, but for the show, I'm trying to keep it down to the 1 day a week so that everyone can kind of catch it and on the replay and all that. But what I love, and I was just talking about this today in a meeting, I was with one of my clients in person, which was great, a nonprofit client where we work on the human race. And so what's awesome is that we got to meet in person and we talked about the same thing about video. And what we did was a Facebook Live introducing the team that's going to be working on the
That's
human race.
awesome.
So that way,
And I tell my clients the same thing.
Yeah.
Everybody needs to know who's behind the nonprofit success. It can't just be about you, the executive director, always talking. We need to know who the board members are, who's the admin, who is the volunteer coordinator. We need to feel a connection with them, and they have stories to tell. I do this live webinar. It's not a webinar. It's a workshop.
Yep.
When it's live, it's a workshop. So I do this live workshop. It's called Telling Profitable Stories.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. So it's teaching not only nonprofit organizations, but for-profit organizations how to tell stories that bring them in revenue, because it's all in the storytelling. So I always find a way to bring in my first love, which is English. Taught English for over 15 years and whatever else I'm doing.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things. And people are amazed when I do the workshop by how much how much stories they have to tell, because they always say, it always starts off with, I don't have any stories to tell.
Right.
I just do this business, that's it, and then you start digging deeper, and then you're like, tell me about, you ask poignant questions, and then they're like, wow, I didn't realize I had these impactful stories to tell.
Right.
And those are the things that allow donors or prospective donors to let you pull at your heartstrings so that they can open their purse strings.
Yes.
You have to touch my heart for me to open my wallet.
Yes.
If you don't hit me here, I'm not giving you any money if I don't connect with you.
Yeah.
And like with Giving Tuesday coming up right around the corner, you better start telling some good stories. You better.
Well, and that's the beautiful thing, that's funny that you mentioned that, because I brought it up in my meeting today too, is that because people were going around explaining why they loved the human race and why they are passionate about it. And I'm in the back saying, yes, can we get that on video? Because that's what I'm
Right.
talking about. That's what gets you motivated and inspired.
Exactly.
And that's what
Exactly.
attracts people, because they see your passion. They see that you're energetic and that you're in love with it. And so then that gets them excited, and it's just a snowball effect.
Right. Because I like to say passion without purpose and purpose without action is fruitless.
Yes.
Nothing comes out of it. So you can't just have passion. You can't just have purpose. You have to put all of that together with some action in order to see the results you're looking for.
Yeah. It's so true. And, when it comes to video, do you yourself use video on Facebook or YouTube or anywhere
I
else?
do. So you were just my guest on my podcast.
Yeah.
So I took my podcast and I broke it down into two parts. So I have the podcast, which people can listen to, on any podcast app.
Yep.
But one of the things because I use Zoom to do my podcast. So I had the video and I'm like, okay, I'm just going to take the audio and put it on the podcast and trash the video. I'm like, that doesn't make sense. I have two different mediums that I can use. So I tried to figure out what I wanted to do with the video. And at first I thought about putting it on Facebook. And I did try it on Facebook for a little bit. But Facebook is so saturated with
Yep.
so much stuff. Just stuff, like you get on Facebook and you're like, okay, I'm just going to check my notifications. And then it's 2 hours later and you're like, my God, I'm still here,
Yep.
So for me personally, and then I did an impromptu, survey of a lot of people that I talked to. And, I asked them how did they use Facebook, because I know when I get on Facebook, I don't necessarily watch videos
Right.
for an extended period of time. I
Yes.
get on Facebook to see what other people are saying, So I'll read posts and comment or like, and then, I'm distracted by something else I saw, and then I go, there's a lot of distraction on Facebook.
Yes.
So my podcasts are usually 30 minutes to an hour, and I just wasn't getting the return on investment that I thought I would on Facebook with the podcast. So I decided to try YouTube.
Yeah.
I went over to YouTube. I started that particular YouTube channel 2 months ago,
Okay.
and I have racked up, I think it's like 80,000 hours of views,
Wow.
view hours or something like that.
Yeah.
So my average upload on YouTube gets about 1,500 views.
Wow.
Yes, my highest viewed video got over 3,000 views. And that's just in the last 2 months. I cannot make those numbers in any way, shape, or form on Facebook. Not even if I boost
Yep.
can I get those kinds of numbers. So I decided to take my videos from Facebook. I'll do like mini lives, 5-10 minutes every now and again. But my two basic free resources, like we talked about before, I'm giving out enough free that I don't feel I need to get on the phone to give you free.
Sure.
Right? Yeah. So it's my podcast and then my YouTube channel.
Yep. And
You know?
that's a big point that I want to mention to you guys. And Val, I'll talk about that in a second, who just commented. It's one of those things that it's going to be different for everyone. So those who are watching / listening to this broadcast, even on the replay, you have to test it for yourself.
Exactly.
And you
Yes.
have to be aware of your numbers, which is what you just shared with us. And we also have to remember, though, you've summed it up perfectly for our interactions, at least the way I interact with Facebook. We do a lot of this.
Scrolling
through. Like literally,
Yeah.
we're 2 seconds, 3 seconds, and then we're on to the next thing. So, and we talked about this in a recent episode, given Social Media Examiner pulled their video shows from Facebook because they had the same issue that they weren't getting any to little
They weren't
attention.
getting the traction.
Yeah. And it's
even though you use Facebook Creator, I thought it would be better.
Yeah.
Because that's supposedly a video platform.
Yep.
But it's still
it's
not
not.
generating the type of views that I thought it would.
Yeah,
But I
and-
go over to YouTube where it's purely videos.
Yep.
And that's what people go for. I
Yes.
watch YouTube videos that are like 60 minutes long. And I literally watch the entire video.
Right.
Because I went there for that specific video, whether it's about gossip or a subject area that I'm trying to learn, whatever it is, I'm going to watch that video to the end because I searched Google for it or it happened to pop up in my feed. on YouTube, and I was like, oh, this is interesting. And I clicked on it.
Yes, and that's the key, is that the system was set up, the platform was set up with one purpose: video. We're talking about
Yes.
YouTube for those tuning in. So YouTube, that is their system. It's all about posting your videos and watching videos. That's
Exactly.
it. And then Facebook started out as just a social network place where you
Yeah.
comment and post status updates. That's why we're so used to that. And so now Facebook's trying to say, oh, wait a minute, we want to do more, and we want to add in this video component, and we want to be top of video because you're already here. The problem with that, though, is long form video, we can see now, is not going to be working on Facebook because that system, that structure was not built for that. And the people that are used to that, it's hard to change their habits for that. So you have to understand when and where you're supposed to be and not try to be everything. Just like an entrepreneur, when you're starting your business, we all try to do everything and be everything. I'm guilty of it too.
Yes, I did too.
Yeah, but when we start to focus in and narrow things down to that one product, that one service that we can be known for, that's when we start to see our business take off, and when people can really recommend us, which is that word of mouth marketing, which takes it to a whole nother ballgame, because you're not spending your money on ad dollars that may or may not attract people. You're able to save that money, put it into your tools, resources, and people, and then be able to do live broadcasts or pre-recorded videos and share those on the appropriate platforms to then attract your clients.
Right. Exactly. But what you said in the beginning was a good point. You have to test your market.
Yes.
For some people, Facebook works.
Yeah.
You know, they have established themselves on Facebook for so long that when they do put up a video, they're getting 2,000 views, they're getting 3,000 views. I only started doing Facebook videos really last year. So for me, it doesn't work the way it does for other people. I find YouTube to be a better medium for me.
Yes.
But you have to test your own videos on different platforms and see what works for you. But testing it means seriously testing it, not just pop, because I have another YouTube channel that literally I just pop videos on. I don't work the channel. So I don't get the type of views I should on that channel. I may get 5 views or 6 views on a video.
Yep.
But then once I started this other channel that's associated with my my podcast, this channel is getting a lot of views because I actually work the channel. And when I say work the channel, I would take the video, like say the video that we did together, and I will break it into clips, like, you know, key points, and make like a 2-minute video. And I take that video and I keep posting it to Facebook, and I'm redirecting them back to my YouTube channel because I'm not putting the whole thing on Facebook.
Yes.
So So I'm using Facebook to grow my YouTube channel.
Yep.
Because somebody will watch that 2-minute video, but they're not going to watch the 45-minute video.
Yes. And
if that makes sense.
Yes.
And then I take that video and I also put it on Instagram. I break it down again. I put it in my stories. I send them back to YouTube where you can watch the whole video. You know, so I'm doing cross marketing, and that's one of the ways in which I am getting the views that I'm getting.
Yes, and you guys, that is so smart, and that's what I love, repurposing that video and taking, it's not about how many videos you can do. It's about doing one, and how can you break that down into the simplest form. And I love that you said the 2-minute or so video, because we know that if you can keep a video on Facebook anywhere from a minute to maybe 6, depending on how good it is, but the 2-minute mark is about right. That's where you can keep people's attention. And actually, if you can keep it under 3 minutes, to be honest, I think that
that's best.
Yeah, you can bypass the ad part, because I think the ads start coming in around 3 minutes.
Yeah.
But what's great is that you can then give them a little sample on the network you're at, where most of your people might be. And then, like you said, there's the call to action. Where do you want to take them? To the full video, which is on YouTube. And then on YouTube, once they're finished with that, I'm guessing the call to action would be to go to your website or get whatever, you know, download or whatever it may be. But like, you map it out. Everyone can get pen and paper and just map it out. What do you think it is and what do you want without getting tech involved? And then once you map it out on paper, you can say, oh, that's all I got to do. I do the video here. I break it down. I upload here. I go here and here and here. Call it a day.
Right. Yeah. And even if you have a good email list, you can take that same 2-minute video and pop it in your email and then tell them, hey, guys, want to see the whole video? There's much more to see. Go on over to my YouTube page and watch the entire video.
Yes.
And don't forget to like and subscribe and comment.
Yes.
You know?
And what I love about that too, for those who are curious about YouTube videos as well, is that when it comes to YouTube videos, like most of you didn't see the beginning, but I'll show it at the end, the new promo video I created for the Hey Ed Network app. What's great about that is it's uploaded to YouTube. You guys can see it, you can like it, you can share, comment, all that stuff. But I took it a step further and I included that link in my signature on my email so that people who are interested can see. They just click and they're taken right there. And what's
Listen, what you're saying is so good. Like, so good. Because I know where you're going with this. And we forget how powerful our email signature is.
Yes.
Okay?
I know.
People completely dismiss the email signature like it's just something at the bottom of the page. Like, people actually look at your signature.
Yep.
If there's a link in there, they're going to click on it. Like, that is ad revenue right there. That's like advertising in your email signature, y'all.
Yes.
You know, if you're sending out emails all the time, you need to utilize your email signature effectively.
Oh my gosh, yes. That's like a whole nother ballgame for you guys, but that was a gold mine there.
Yeah.
And what's cool about it is that at least in Gmail, here's another mind-blowing tip, you guys. At least in Gmail, that's the one I use, when that email is sent, it actually shows a preview image of the YouTube video as if I attached it, even though I only had a link there. Super cool, because maybe that text didn't catch their eye, but now they see there's an attachment and they click on it and they're like, oh, well, I didn't know about that surprise. So
that's like a gold mine for real. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I think a lot of people are gonna be like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have to do a show episode for you guys on that, because I do have a free course around email where I talk about that, but I'll do a live for you guys that's specific on that. I'll make note of that, because it's really important, instead of saying sent from iPhone or sent from Verizon, like
Android,
why are you gonna advertise these other people in your signature when you can advertise your business?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
But another thing about YouTube, so YouTube is the second largest search engine.
Yes.
So a lot of people sleep on YouTube and they think that YouTube is overly saturated. And maybe you're not going on YouTube to try to make YouTube money, you know, because you have to have 1,000 followers and 4,000 watch time, which the watch time is pretty easy to get. The followers is another thing.
Yep.
You know, people will watch your video, but they're not necessarily going to subscribe sometimes. And they'll always come back and watch your video, because I know there are people who watch my videos every single week. But I'm like, you're not subscribing, but you like the videos, you know? But anyway, so YouTube is the second largest search engine. So once you have your videos on YouTube and you know how to do good SEO on your YouTube videos, when people are looking for certain things, like if they're looking for tech help, and you have good SEO, once they type it in and you have enough videos, you start moving up that page. So you're not on page 4 anymore or page 2 anymore. Sometimes you can make it to page number 1.
Yeah.
You know? And
It's
that's
so
the
true.
power of YouTube, because remember, YouTube is owned by Google.
Yes. I'm so glad you mentioned that.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that we have to keep in mind, and that's why, you know, I'm going to throw in the website tip there too, is that it's so important for us to remember website. Having a website is important. And I won't go too off topic, but I want to mention this because this is our platform, and live broadcasts do have a bigger reach most of the time than regular posts. So some of you may not have seen this, but having a website is so important. And I will tell you that the other day, somebody reached out to me and wanted me to come speak at their school. And I asked them the most important question.
Where did you find
Where
me?
did you find me? And they wrote back, I typed in business schools near me, and they're in my city, and my other website popped up in position number 8.
Wow,
Position
that's
number 8.
awesome.
It was my website, not my Facebook business page, not my Twitter, not my YouTube, not anything, but my website. And so you have to understand that whether or not you think that a website's great or you don't think that you have enough content for a website, having a one-page website is
Exactly. I was just about to say,
okay.
even if it's one page, you need to
Yes.
have one.
Info, how do I
Yeah.
get a hold of you? What do you do? All that stuff, like just thrown on there. It doesn't even have to be beautiful. It just has to have, you just have to have a website because that is what's going to be placed in Google. That's how people are going to find you. Having a business page on Facebook is great. Obviously it helps, but that
Yes.
is not what shows up in the Google search results.
Exactly. And a little off topic still, but still on topic,
Yeah.
is that a lot of people forget to register their business on Google.
Yes.
Once I registered, like I slept on it.
Yep.
I knew about it for many years and I'm like, "Ugh, I'm not doing that." You know? And a friend of mine kept prompting me to do it. And I finally did it about, I want to say 3 months ago.
Yep.
And I have seen an increase and
Yes.
people reaching out to me.
Oh, yeah.
Like I get at least 300 more hits on my website every month because I registered my business on Google.
Yes. And I'm glad that you
I've
brought
gotten
that.
phone calls because I'm sorry, I didn't mean to
No,
cut you
no,
off.
you're good.
Because of my videos on YouTube,
Yep.
and I've gotten clients because of registering my business on Google as well.
Yeah.
Because I asked, where did you find me?
Yes, and that's the thing, and I'm glad that you brought that up because I actually just posted this in the Hey Ed network. So those who are inside the app or will be soon, you have this resource about how you can get signed up and why and all of that. But it's one of those important things because that helps you so much with your local, on your
Yep.
local level, and that's how that helps. And so just keep that in mind for those who are like, oh, I'm fine with my social media platform. That's
Right.
not
But I became
enough.
disenfranchised with social media.
Yeah.
And that is why I did it. And I am so upset with myself that I didn't do it earlier.
Right.
Because I'm getting so much more local hits. And I thought my local market was so hard to break into,
Yep.
but I wasn't breaking into it the right way.
Yeah.
That was the problem.
Yep. I
Yeah.
love that you brought that up. That's key. And that will help you guys with your videos and with attracting your clients. Like, understand that it's part of building that foundation that we talked about at the beginning. It may not be sexy, it may not be fun, but it is so worth it in the end.
Yes.
And it's so important to establish no matter where you're at in your business, especially at the beginning. But if you miss those steps, it's like pause everything and get back to the basics.
Exactly. It costs more to correct a problem
Yes.
than to actually do it right the first time. It
Yep.
can cost you 2 times more of what you would have actually paid in the very beginning if you don't do it right.
Yep.
So just take the time. If you don't leave here with anything else, leave here knowing that starting a business is not sexy. There's nothing sexy. I mean, people try to glamorize it, but it's not that way at all. Like a lot of people that you see out here talking about, "Ooh, I'm making 6 figures, I'm doing this, I'm doing that." A lot of it is false.
Yeah.
It's false. They're putting on airs for you on social media.
Yep.
You know? It's like the Instagram effect
Oh my
for
gosh.
entrepreneurs.
Yes. And can I just say, I just heard about this the other day, which doesn't surprise me, but I mean, I actually heard about it on TV, that they're now, you guys tell me in the comments, even if you're watching the replay, if you've heard about this. Now, some of you, if you haven't, you're probably going to be like, that's my business idea. But people actually are doing the whole Airbnb thing, you know, renting out their apartments, but for Instagram photos.
Really?
So, for instance,
What?
if you are like, I mean, you know, look at my space. Like, it's not like the glamorous part, right?
Right.
But if I wanted to, I can go find a sexy apartment that looks very, you know, New York style with the bricks and everything. I can pay, you know, by the hour, I guess. I don't know how they do it. And then I can style it up and have the whole full-on photo shoot in somebody else's apartment or home and
I didn't
pretend
know
like it's
people were
mine.
doing that.
Oh yeah,
I knew they were doing it at hotels, but I
right.
didn't realize they were renting out people's homes. I thought
Yeah.
only rappers did that to make their
Right.
videos.
Yeah. So you guys are learning a whole lot today on this
Oh,
show.
wow. Yeah.
It blew my
Yeah,
mind.
just know that a lot of what you see,
Yeah,
it's not real, you
exactly.
know? And the grind
Yep.
and the stress that you have to go through, that's real. It doesn't have to last a long time.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to last forever. But there is going to be some level of stress. I'm not going to lie to you and tell you that you're going to start your business and right out the door, it's going to be roses.
Yeah.
It's not. It really isn't. It's going to be a lot of like, oh my God, why did I get myself into this? Like, I
Yep.
could go out and find a job and get a regular paycheck, that type of stuff.
Oh yeah.
But if you really want to own your time and write your own paycheck, you need to have your own business. That's the only way.
Yes.
Or you work on commission.
Yeah. And that's the thing where I always tell you guys, whether or not you're a part of my community, which is the Hey Ed Network, or somebody else's, it's so important to be surrounded by the right people and be part of a community where you feel safe enough to ask questions and know that, like we just said, probably blew your mind, that a lot of things that you see on Instagram, on Facebook, or wherever, a lot of them are not real. And like somebody who just commented, people are posing by other people's cars just to make it look like they're having
Yes.
the time of their life. And
Yep.
we forget that because we're so involved in the moment, and we are scrolling and we're like, man, they have the best life and they're doing all the things. Their business must be thriving.
And that's why everyone wants to become an entrepreneur, because
Yes.
they're looking at this. It's like, that's why everyone does their body over on Instagram, because they're looking at these people and going, oh my God, why don't I look like that?
Yep.
And entrepreneurs are looking at other entrepreneurs going, oh my gosh, why am I not making six figures?
Yeah.
And then I actually hear some business coaches tell people to fake it till you make it. Like, what?
Yes. And that's the thing. And that's why also live video has become so popular too for those who are curious and haven't jumped into it, is because you can be your real self. And I will tell you, I've had people compliment me both publicly and in emails where they say, I appreciate your authenticity. Like, I know you're real. I know I can not just like you, but I can trust you, and that you're going to point me in the right direction. Whether or not I can afford to work with you, I just need to know X, Y, Z and
Right.
point me in the right, like people are so respectful, and they will
Yeah.
be once they know what you're doing, and if you're really real or if you're trying to play this game. And
Exactly.
don't try to play the
So
game.
to that point, like I said, I really only started getting into videos last year. And my reasons this is me just being as transparent as possible. Sometimes I talk really fast.
Yeah.
I got a lot going on in my mind.
Yep.
I'm sorry. Right? So I'm trying to get it out as quickly as possible so I don't lose my train of thought and getting on to the next thing. And sometimes it comes out so fast, I stutter over my words, and I'm like, oh my God,
Yep.
And I was like, oh, people are going to think this, people are going to think that. And people who say they never thought about it, they're lying.
Yes.
You're lying. So, and I'm a little quirky. I talk with my hands a lot.
Yep.
I'm just kind of animated, and that's from teaching for so long.
Right.
I have to keep my students' attention. So my kids love the fact that I was animated and I talk with my hands and I move my body, and that's just who I am.
Yep.
And I was like, that's not going to go off well on camera. People are going to think that, like, that's not professional or whatever
Right.
it is.
Yeah.
So I had a lot of hang-ups
Yep.
about starting my podcast. Like, I started off with Anchor when Anchor actually started.
Oh yeah.
And I did, you and I both, because
Yep.
we started around the same time. And then I was like, oh, no, this is not for me. But I had so much to say.
Yeah.
And I needed an outlet in which to say it.
Yep.
And I was like, listen, you need to get over yourself. This is who you are. When people meet you, they think that you're a delight.
Mm-hmm.
Who cares what the internet people think?
Yep.
Who cares? You have the information that other people need, and you need to find a medium that works for you to get it
Yes.
out. So I don't always want to be on camera. and I don't want to be up here every day.
Right.
Like people will tell you, you need to do a live every single day. That's not me. I
Yeah.
don't want to do that. So like you, I decided I can do a weekly podcast and vodcast.
Yeah.
I can do that. And that is what I do. As long as you're putting your best foot forward and you're putting yourself out
Yep.
visually or audio, by audio, so people can hear who you are, what you know. That is the most important thing. Don't listen to, if you're not comfortable getting up in front of a camera every single day,
Right.
4 or 5 times a day, you don't have to.
Yeah.
You don't have to, but you do need to do something though.
Yes. Well, and that ties back to what we were talking about is you have to test. You have to see what works for you on what platform and what time consistency. Basically, you want to be consistent with whatever it is once you figure it out.
Exactly.
And being able to set that parameter is great. And being able to know, like, if video's not your thing, cool. Figure out something else. If blogging's your thing, awesome. Do that.
Exactly.
Whatever you figure out is your thing, run with it and be consistent, and that's all that matters. And everything else will fall into place.
Right.
So.
Like I have friends who vlog every single day. Like their stories on Instagram and Facebook is like, the lines are usually like this long.
Yeah.
They're short,
Too much.
because there's so many stories. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't do that. Like, I know that's not for me.
Yeah.
I could not do that. Like when I used to do the Nonprofit Minute, when I used to do like a 1-minute video every day, that used to be so draining for me. 1 minute and I'm drained.
Yeah.
Because I got to get camera ready.
Yep.
To me, it was like another chore. And I'm like, I cannot do this every single day.
Right.
There are days when I really don't want to talk if I don't have to, because I do a lot of writing. A lot of what I do is written work. And some days I really don't want to talk. Like for me to get on here and do this interview with you, I got to psych myself up.
Yeah.
And be like, just do it, Tracy. Just do it.
Yep.
You got this. Do it.
Yep.
So like I did a train the trainer this morning, and yesterday I could hardly talk yesterday. And this morning I got up and I was like, oh my God, I really have to go do this.
Right.
And this is in front of a bunch. It was like 20 middle-aged men.
Oh, wow.
Like I was the only woman in I was the only woman in the room besides the secretary.
Yeah.
That was it. And I got up there and I was like, I'm sitting there waiting for my time to go do my presentation. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't do this. But then I got up there, I told myself, yes, you can. I went to the bathroom, did some breathing exercises, came in, and I knocked it out. So sometimes you have to psych yourself out.
Oh, totally.
So you put it on your calendar, whatever video you want to make, whether it's once a week or twice a week, put it on your calendar and make it a part of your job.
Yes.
Because being an entrepreneur, you are working for yourself.
Yep.
So just like if you were working for someone else, you would have a schedule of things you need to do every day that needed to be done at a certain time. You have to do the same thing with your videos.
Yeah.
Scheduling
is key for everything.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. We're getting close on time, and I want to make sure that we cover everything. Anything else that you wanted to leave us with, or did we get everything that we wanted to talk about?
Yeah, basically, but let me just reiterate. Oh my God. Do not sleep on YouTube.
Yeah.
A lot of people are talking about YouTube is antiquated. It is not. People go to YouTube to watch videos. That is what they go for. So if you're going to do videos, you need to, because on Facebook, even if you do it on Facebook Live, you can press the download button.
Yep.
It downloads to your computer, and then you can upload it to YouTube.
Yes.
And now YouTube has the option to go live. That works wonderfully for some people. Some people do talk show style where they call in. You have to find out what works for you and make it work for you.
Yes.
So you got to test the feel, see if it's Facebook, see if it's Instagram, or what's the new thing that Instagram has?
IG's TV.
Yes,
Yep.
IGTV, which doesn't work for me.
Yep.
I tried it out.
Too much work.
Yeah, I can't with IGTV, so I stopped doing it.
Yep.
Every now and again, I might post a video. So I know that IGTV is not the platform for me.
Right.
Instagram works for me sometimes, but not too many times. Facebook works for me on posting,
Yep.
not so much video.
Yep.
But when I go over to YouTube, it's cha-ching, a gold mine for me. I get so many
Smart.
views on my video. I get contacted because I put everything. I mean, on YouTube, you have a limited blog space
Yep.
under your video where you can put your description. I put all the links, everything that I want people to interact with. You can do that on video on YouTube. And something else about YouTube that a lot of people don't know. After you get to a certain point in YouTube, if you do live videos on YouTube, there's something called Super Chat.
Oh.
Yes. So there's something called Super Chat if you do live videos, and people can donate to you. And
Oh,
people
right.
do donate. Like they give you $100, $5, $10. I've seen people give up to $200
Everyone's
because they
like,
like the content. Yes, they like the content that the person was giving. So,
see, that's cool.
test the market and see what works for you.
Yes. So important.
Yeah.
And on
Yeah.
that note, no, I'm just kidding. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Tracy, for joining
No
us.
problem.
I appreciate
I
having
enjoyed
you.
this,
Yes,
as usual.
this was so much fun. And
Yeah.
be sure to drop your links in the comments so people can find you as well.
Okay, I
All right.
will.
Take care.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right, guys, so that's how it works. For those who are curious, I'm going to sign off, but I'm going to show you the new ad promo video, just so that way you can see what I've been up to this week and how cool the Hey Ed Network app is. So even if you aren't into it, like, share it with your friends. And we will be back next week, and maybe we'll do the email signature for next week's episode. Have a great week, and we'll talk to you soon.